Hi, folks.
Hi, everybody.
We're back. Aren't you so excited? I'm excited.
I'm excited. You should be excited too.
Everybody should be excited.
Everybody.
Insert Whitney Houston's I'm so excited here because I did not think I had enough to have that ready to play it because I don't know what I'm doing, but it's fine. You guys should know that by now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Factual.
right? Does
Yeah.
anybody ever really know what they're doing?
No.
Exactly.
I mean, I think people sometimes get to a point where they're like, they got a good idea and like a gist, but like sitting there and saying, I know what I'm doing all the time, 100% of the time, no.
Yeah, I feel like I know what I'm doing maybe like 5% of the time. 10% depending on what it is that I'm doing.
Fair.
Yeah. The time
I
I
feel
really
that.
know 100% what I'm doing is when I'm at work, standing around doing nothing because I 100% know that I'm bored out of my mind. That's about it.
See, I feel like something happens every single day at work that reminds me that I don't know shit.
Oh my god. Let me tell you what happened at work. This was a while ago,
Oh,
but I don't
yeah.
I don't remember if I told you or not.
I don't know.
So, for those of you who don't know, I work in a shoe store. I'm not going to tell you which one, but I work in a shoe store. Anyways, so this guy comes in, this like crackheaded guy comes in, and um, he came in with like a friend or whatever, and it was me and my coworker, and she was about to leave when they came in. So they came in, and they were for the most part like sticking together, or whatever. They were just like nosing around, whatever. I feel like they were waiting for one of us to leave, um, or like go in the back or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as my coworker left, these two split up onto opposite corners of our store.
Oh,
And obviously, I couldn't watch both of them at the same
naturally.
time. It's very hard because one of them was behind me.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked the more sketchy looking of the two, and I was just like being right up all in his business. Anytime he picked up a pair, she was like, "Oh, do you want me to put those aside for you? Like, what? Blah blah blah. Do you have the right size? All annoying customer service shit."
Right.
And he was like, "No, I'm still thinking about it. Whatever." So the other guy went and started poking around. We have like a case next to our counter with our watches in them because we sell watches too.
Oh,
And so we went and he started poking around over there. So I'm like, okay, those I like. I care more if a watch gets stolen than a pair of shoes because like the watches are expensive. So
mm-hmm.
I go over to like keep an eye on the one guy, and the other guy is like behind a rack. He like takes a pair of shoes out of its box and like stuffs them inside his jacket and
Oh
books
my
it out the
god.
store. And then the other guy follows behind him. And obviously, I can't. There's not really a lot that I can. I'm not going to go and tackle this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And security in our mall sucks so bad. They don't do a
That's
lot.
terrible.
Um, and so my manager that was my coworker that was there. She was still in the mall. She went to like down the hall to go and buy something at a different store. So
Okay.
she was on her way back past my store to go home. And she stops in on her way out and she was like, "Did those guys pay for those shoes?" And I was just like, "Nope." Because apparently she saw him wearing, like, he put on the shoes that he stole and was throwing out his old pair
Wow.
in the middle of like the mall hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So she came in and I was in the middle of filling out like our incident report for the theft and whatever.
Right.
So that the next week, the same guy has the audacity to come back into my store wearing the shoes that he stole from me the week
Oh
before.
my god.
And
Seriously?
he walks right past. There was like 12 people in the store. It was fairly busy. And it was in the middle of the day. He comes right in. He goes to a different size section than the ones that he already stole, which doesn't make any sense to me, anyways.
No.
And he just takes a pair out of the box on the wall in front of me, my coworker, and about 12 other customers. Because, like, me and my coworker were standing right in front of this wall where he took these shoes from, talking to another customer. So he's
Mm-hmm.
literally like 2 feet from us, takes these shoes, starts like speed walking past us, body checks another customer that we were talking to out of the way, and almost
Oh my
knocks over an
God.
entire display of shoes to get out of the store. And I'm just like yelling after him and telling my coworker to call security and shit. But like we're right beside the exit, so he was already gone by the time security took their sweet ass time getting there.
What the
And
fuck?
people are just getting so bold nowadays. It is absolutely insane. I just can't believe it.
That's literally insane.
Right? So
I'm
yeah,
floored.
that's one of the craziest things that's happened at my store. Other
I'm
than that, it's
so,
just super
yeah.
boring.
Yeah, so okay, so when I worked at Home Depot, there was like a ton of theft. Like
Oh
there's
yeah.
so much. So people like load up their cart to the point that like we had to put like locks on all of our hardware, like our high dollar ones. But people would load up a cart and you can like follow them. You can't do anything though. But they would do it late at night when our asset protection person was gone at that point.
Right.
And then they would just go to the pro entrance and like we were up on a little bit of a hill and they would roll this cart down, like they would run through the pro entrance and then just coast down the hill on the cart. And
That
there's
sounds like
nothing we
fun.
can do. There's literally nothing we can do.
Okay, but did you guys ever go coasting down the hill in your carts for fun?
I mean, that would be so fun, but I would be too scared because there's also like, um, there's speed bumps in that parking lot too.
Ah.
So, and it curves. So like it curves with the strip
Just throw a
of the
helmet
other
on.
stores. Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, you know what that reminds me of? Um, it's in. Is it in Grown Ups or Grown Ups 2? I don't remember which one of them it was, but they put. I think it's David Spade's character
Mm-hmm.
gets put in a giant tire and it's rolled down a hill.
Oh my god, I think it's the first one because I haven't seen the second one, but I remember that happening.
Oh my god, that was
So
fucking
fucking
hilarious! And
funny.
I've low key always wanted to do that.
I know, but like it's also really freaking like it's really
Dangerous,
kind of dangerous.
yeah. But
But yeah,
like
oh
that, yeah, that seems like it would be fun.
yeah. See, okay, I almost miss a little bit working at Home Depot at the customer service desk because I was so freaking good at it, right? And like like people would come in and try and like return old hardware stuff
Mm-hmm.
that like they knew wasn't working, but they would try and swap it out for like so this guy got a battery from us, then tried to bring back the old battery that he had and return it as the new battery he purchased, which
Yep.
like I understand that they're really kind of expensive, but like why are you trying to swindle the store? The more you swindle the store, the higher the prices go up.
Well, and I was like, oh my god, I was having this conversation with one of my coworkers the other day,
Mhm.
um, about like Walmart's return policies. I think it was Walmart, or maybe it was just like I don't remember what store specifically. I think it was Walmart, but it could have been somewhere else.
Oh.
Um, and he was saying like, you can buy like, if you buy something on sale and you go return it and it's no longer on sale, the store should have to give you back whatever price it's at when you go to return it. And I'm just like,
No,
no,
because that's not what you
because
paid.
exactly, because if stores did that, then everybody would be going and buying things when they're on sale and returning them when they're not on sale, and the stores would just be losing money.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Like why would they pay you more when you only so if you
Exactly.
paid 15, why would they give you 20 just because the price changed?
Right. And that reminded, like, I had seen, there was this TikToker that I followed, like, my For You page is just, like, covered in, like, customer service skits,
Mhm.
which are actually kind of entertaining sometimes because people are super stupid.
They're
And one of them
entertaining
was,
until like it hits home and then you get really fucking upset.
right. But, like, one of them, they were doing that, and, it was like $30 when she bought it, but it was like $100 in store or whatever now. And she tried to return it, and she's like, "Oh, you guys still owe me more money." And it's like, I just like, do some people really like
No.
firmly believe that that's how things actually should be? That's
Yeah, because people
insane.
are trying to make money off of big businesses like that because like they can try. Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you know when I was at Home Depot one time, someone brought a hardware back. The person who took it back didn't check it though, and it was literally full of rocks.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I had one guy come and he oh yeah, the battery dude. When I was looking at the battery, it looked like it had been through hell, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, this isn't the battery you bought last week. And he's like, oh, really? It's not? I'm like, no, the serial date's also actually from 3 years ago. So I got really good at that shit. Like I made it a point to learn how to
Right.
read serial numbers for all the different like um
As
hardware
you should
brands.
if you're
Yeah,
somebody that's
exactly.
dealing with returns and stuff.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, no, sorry, you can't return this in place of the other one. Like, you would need to contact the manufacturer to see if there's a warranty, because Home Depot is not the one that offers the warranty. You have to go through the manufacturer.
Right.
So, sorry, but I'm
And
not doing this.
oh my God. So when I first moved out here last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have any furniture or anything, so I went to Walmart to just like get an air mattress to sleep on for until I got all my stuff set up and whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I went, and there was the only box left for the air mattress that I wanted, that was on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it was still expensive, but it wasn't like cheap. It wasn't like a like it was on. Sorry, it was on sale, but it wasn't the cheapest. Like it was like a good quality one too. It's so
Mm-hmm.
like it was still expensive, just not as expensive as it would have been full price.
Right.
Like there were cheaper options on the shelf that were like noticeably cheaper quality too, and the box was opened
Mm-hmm.
and it had the cheap quality one in there. So somebody took out the more expensive, good, high quality one and put it in the box of the cheap one and
And
bought
then
it like
bought the
that.
cheap one.
Bought
Wow.
it with the cheap box, so it was that price, but for like the twice as expensive, higher quality one.
Wow.
It's like a $20 price, like $20 air mattress box with like an $80 air mattress inside of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So then I couldn't get the one that I wanted because that was the last one,
That's so
and it
rude.
wasn't
People
even the
are
right
so
one.
shitty.
I know.
Like, if you can't buy it, you can't buy it. And I get that like it's really shitty because things are way overpriced, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But like that's you're really
That's
fucking
just
over
rude.
everybody else. Ugh,
Some people, man.
I know. Oh, I had another one at Home Depot too. This guy brought in this like toolkit, and he was like, yeah, these aren't really working very well. I just wanted to swap it out. Literally didn't even hardly let me say anything. He just drops it off and then goes to get another one. And
Nice.
so while he walked, I know, like just entitled already. And so I started looking at it and I'm like, there's a whole drill missing. Um, and so when he came back up, I made sure to like grab the new one that he grabbed and like kind of pull it to my side of the counter. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, hey, so I was looking at the ones that you have in this toolkit and there's actually missing a piece. And he's like, oh, it is really? And I'm like, yeah, like a whole drill. I looked at the contents
Right.
of the box, like,
That's not
I
something
can't
that's
swap
easily
this for you.
misplaced.
Right. And I'm like, sorry, I can't make a swap for you on this because it's not complete. Like, you're
Yeah.
missing a piece. And he's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, really. If you go and get the other pieces and it's all there, I'm more than happy to do that for you. But no, because then you just get to keep a free fucking drill.
Right. Exactly. But people are so entitled, and
They
like,
really are.
so like my store, we don't do returns. Like it's exchange only for equal or higher cost. Like we
Right.
can't get any money back whatsoever. We don't even do store credit.
Wow.
And the amount of people that come in and just expect us to do refunds for them, it's like, no. And my favorite
Like, you
thing
can
ever is
try
when
them
they're
on
like,
here.
right, for real. That's the other thing, is that like their shoes, you can try them on. And if they're not for you, you can bring the person in to try them on.
Right.
Um, or if they don't fit them, you can bring them back and exchange them for the right size.
Right.
I don't care about that. But if you're gonna buy them, you're stuck with them. We're a
Mhm.
clearance shoe store. It says on our receipts, all sales final. We don't even technically have to let you exchange them, but we do.
Right.
Um, so it's just like my favorite thing ever is when people are like, oh, like the other girl that like that checked me out or whatever. She said I had 2 weeks to come in and I can return them. And I
No.
look at the receipt and I look at the cashier number on it and it's my manager's number and I'm just like, no, she fucking didn't. Or my favorite is when they say it's like, oh, the other person told me I could do that, and I look at the receipt and it's my number and I check them out and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm the one that sold these to you. I absolutely did not tell you that you could return them. I told you could
Wow.
exchange them. That's it.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
Right? Or
People
my
are
other thing at my
wild.
last job was that people would be like, oh, the manager said I could like return this whatever, and I was the manager at my last store and I was like, yeah, no, I didn't. I am the manager that you claim told you that you could do this. And they're like, oh no, the other manager. And I was like, there is no other manager. I'm the only one.
You're like, I am the manager.
Yeah. And then they like some people would even try and be like, oh, I talked to like the regional manager and I was like, great. What's their name? Like what name did you get a name for that regional manager that you talked to? And they were like, oh no, I didn't get their name or whatever. I just called and talked to them. And I was like,
So you
okay,
spoke to
cool.
someone and didn't get their name?
What phone number did you call to talk to them? And then I would laugh when they would give the store phone number, and I'd be like, "Yeah, my regional manager has not set foot in my store in 2 months, so I know you
Wow.
didn't talk to them." Or if they get like they gave like corporate's number or whatever, head office number, and I was like, "Yeah, no, our regional manager does not work at head office. Like, fuck you. Our
That's
head office is in
insane.
another province on the other side of the country. There's
Yeah.
absolutely no way in hell you talk to her by calling head office."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
People really be
fun
trying
times.
this shit though.
I know, it's crazy. It's
See,
like, oh
but like,
yeah, I know the owner. It's like, great, so do I. And what does that have to do with anything?
right? Oh my gosh. I know. I had when I worked at the liquor store for like 2 weeks,
Yeah,
this one kid he came in and he's like, "Oh yeah, I used to work here." And I'm like, "Cool."
right.
And he's like, "Yeah,
What's your
and
point?
it was really nice getting the discounts and stuff and blah
Oh yeah,
blah." And
former employees love trying to come in and still get their employee discount.
yeah, and I was like, "Cool. That'll be this amount." Like I didn't
Right?
do anything. Like I'm not giving you your employee discount. You don't work here anymore. But I
Or like,
still got fucking fired for taking a. I still, I
I can't.
understand.
Yeah, like,
I understand his policy. However, he did not explain it the way that he thinks that he did to me because he didn't have to
right.
train me for 3 days, which he said I made that very clear over multiple days of training, and I was like, I had training for like 4 hours. What do you mean?
And
Like,
it's still like it doesn't mean it. Like if
and I'm
they
like,
are
I
of age, they are of age, regardless of what format of ID they have.
exactly like that's my problem is like so we're not a bar. We don't have huge high like traffic and everything where it's like easier to just be able to like verify by the orientation of the ID and be like, sorry, I can't give this to you while you still have your like underage ID.
Right.
Like bars do that because they're fucking packed. I'm sorry, but the 10 people that come in the hour, I can take the time to read this kid's ID. I saw that he was of age. There's no fucking issue with it. That's the thing. Is like
Right.
the policy is that they're overage or underage, not the orientation of their fucking ID. Like,
Yeah.
part of me almost wants to say something and be like, honestly, I think that's really shitty that I got fired because of a policy you didn't disclose, which the policy is to make sure they're overage. And I was doing my job.
Right.
Period.
I don't know. I
Whatever.
don't know. Stuff is messed up. People are fucked up.
Yeah, it's true. It's like
Or like when
frustrating.
regular customers try to come in and be like, try to get me to give them my employee discount. I'm just like, no, I don't even like, I
I don't
don't
even
know
know
you.
you.
Yeah, you come in here shopping like every other day. That doesn't make us friends.
Right.
Like,
If they stopped and they were like chatting with you when they came in every day and like were
even then,
genuinely nice people. But yeah, even then it's like my discount is because I fucking work here. I have to be
right.
here. You get to come and
And
go
even
whenever
still,
you
like,
fucking
I don't
please.
know a single company that allows their employees to use their own employee discounts while they are on shift.
Yeah, exactly. I think the only place I've been able to swing that is Michael's when my sister was working there here. And I came in and I shopped after I dropped her off at work and was like, hey, I'm going to buy some things. Can I use your employee discount? I just couldn't ring it up on her register.
Yeah, she couldn't exactly. That's yeah.
But like,
If you
that's all.
right, but like she wouldn't be able to use her own employee discount for herself while she's on
Right.
shift unless she was like on a break or something.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
And then someone else is ringing her up. If her code popped up for her own number that she was ringing up,
right.
that's hella suspicious.
And that's why, like in my store, like the only people that are allowed to bring up employee purchases are my manager, the manager of the other store, um, our like main manager that's above the both of them,
Mm-hmm.
and me as a key
Yeah.
holder.
Right.
And the reason I'm allowed to is because we don't have a second person for my store to do them for my manager when she wants to buy things.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Whereas the other store, they have two managers that they can have ring stuff up.
Yeah.
We don't. So
And
that's
it's
why
like,
I'm allowed to do them.
yeah. And like, that's so crazy that people come into a clearance shoe store and are like, can I use your discount? Like,
We don't even.
bitch.
Okay, I don't even get my employee discount at my own store because our regular sale in our clearance foot store is better than my employee discount. It's like we get our employee discount at our like main store down the hallway. We don't even get it in our shoe store
Wow.
because our sale is higher than our employee discount.
Right. See, that's crazy.
Right. So whenever I get asked by like a customer, like even though 9 times out of 10 I know that they're like mostly joking, but at the same time it's like, no, I don't even get an employee discount on this stuff. Like
Right?
I pay the same price that you do. Go away.
Mm-hmm. And go away. See, but then it's like funny because like I like to go above and beyond for the people who are like genuinely nice people.
Yeah.
Like there was this one time where these people were buying a Christmas tree and they were like looking at it on the floor and I was like, okay, so I actually know that that one's like $15 cheaper than on like online than in store,
Right.
but I can't bring you up for the online price. Like we don't do that. We will price match for in-store prices, but not matching our online, which I think is
Yeah.
foolish. But it also makes sense at the
100%.
same time. So I was like, how about we go ahead and set up an online order really quick and then I'll just fulfill it and I'll go grab it really quick for you. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. And so it was, we did it that way and worked around like that. Because I was like, fuck Home Depot.
I mean, listen, if customers, here's the thing that I swear the like all the entitled bitches don't understand is that if you are nice to customer service workers, they are going to be way more inclined to like go like above and actually help you.
Yeah,
If you're a
totally.
bitch to people in service industry, they're not gonna fucking do shit for you.
Uh-uh.
And if you're a bitch and then you ask for them to do something, they're gonna be even more pissed.
Right. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There was this one time, oh, I even had someone like report me to management because oh, what was it? Oh, so he tried to pay with his Home Depot credit card,
Right.
but it was declining. And so I called like card services and they're like, "Oh yeah, his balance is maxed." And so I relayed this information to him and he was like, "No, that's not possible because my wife handles my finances and she handles all of that. She just paid it and blah blah." And I'm like, okay, well, then the payment must have not posted. This isn't a valid form of payment right now. It's not going to approve. There's nothing I can do. And he's
Right.
like, I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. Like, why are you not like helping me? And I'm like, what do you want me to
There's
do?
literally right. There's literally nothing that can be done about that.
Yeah. And I was
Like,
like, do you have another form of payment? And I don't know why, but that absolutely fucking set him the fuck off. He's like, I've got so much money in all of my accounts, blah, blah, blah. And I've got
that's the
these cards and those cards. I'm like,
right.
okay, then use one. Like,
Right. It's like, who the fuck cares, bro?
I
Sure, you've got all this theoretical money. I've got none. That doesn't make a difference? Do you want to pay for your shit or not?
Right.
Like,
I'm like, well, either way, pick a different card, dude. And then he was like, he got so upset. And then later, the manager came up to me and was like, so, and he was new. And I didn't really know him very well because he just got transferred. And I already didn't really care for him because I thought he was kind of a kiss ass, which he was.
yeah.
And so he's like asking me these questions. And I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? And I was like, I was getting mad because like he was bothering me while I was covering for the cashiers because I was head cashier at the time.
Yeah.
And So I'm covering the garden section right before we're about to close up. And he comes up and, like, while I'm closing everything down, doesn't help or anything, just stands there and, like, talks at me about, like, the situation and how I needed to handle it better. And I was like, you weren't even there. Dude was mad for no
Right?
reason. Dude was mad to be fucking mad. I did my due diligence to try and help him. It's not my fucking fault that he doesn't understand that payments don't apply automatically or immediately. Like, sorry that your card is maxed out. Sorry that I told you in front of other people. It's not that big of a fucking deal. Just use a different
Right.
card. And I'm like, also, he lied to you. And he's like, well, you know, he had some pretty detailed information. And I'm like, yeah, because he's fucking delusional. Of course, he's going to have a lot of information. He's going to make up an entire scene, basically. But that's not what fucking happened. And the fact that you're accusing me right now of something that didn't happen and that you don't actually know anything about is blowing my mind. And he was like, I'd really appreciate if you don't, like, weren't, like, so. He's like, I understand that you're upset, but, like, I think because I got really snippy with him. And
Yeah.
he's like, you don't need to be quite so upset or something along the lines of that. And I was like, no, because you're actually, like, accusing me of something right now that's not true. And you're believing some asshole over an employee before even asking me what happened.
Right.
That's crazy. Like, if he had come up and he'd asked me the situation and then was like, well, he said this, and be like, I can understand why he was upset. Like, it sucks. But nothing I said was rude or accusatory, anything.
Some people, man, just should not be in management positions.
Ugh, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's an interesting time.
it certainly
Like my
is.
very first job, oh my god. My
Yeah.
first manager at that job, she was great. I actually I very much enjoyed working with her, but then she left because she was like moving across the country or whatever.
Hmm.
Um and then we didn't have a manager for a while. And then I'd been there for a while at this point, and I got fucking passed over for manager for somebody that worked in a different department at the store to move into my department and take over as manager. And she had never worked a single day in my department before. And
Wow.
I was pissed. I was so mad.
I don't
Um,
blame you.
and she was not good at it anyway either. We all hated her. like, and it's sad because I got passed over for manager, and then when she came in, I had to fucking train her how to be the manager.
Oh my god, that's the most annoying part.
Right. Because she had no idea how to do anything in her department, so I had to train her on our entire department. And it would have been so much easier to just make me a manager, but whatever.
Yeah,
It's fine. I don't work there anymore.
for good reason, probably.
I mean, I left that job to, because I was in the bakery at a grocery store. I left that store to go to the first clothing retail store that I worked in that I eventually was the manager of,
Hmm.
which also sucked because they didn't pay me enough. I got a whole dollar over minimum wage to be the manager,
Wow, that's fucked.
and that wasn't even like a one-time raise of $1 an hour. So I was there for 3 months. My probation ended, and then I became a key holder, and I got a 25-cent raise.
What the
And then I
fuck?
was for another 2.5 to 3 months passed, and I became assistant manager, and I got another 25-cent raise. So I was making 50 cents over minimum wage at this point as assistant manager.
That's crazy.
And then I took over one of our stores and I became the manager, and I got a whole 50-cent raise to become the manager.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's insane.
I know. And then I stayed there long enough to decide to go back to school. And then I quit. I went to college.
Fair. Do you
Yeah.
want to know? I actually have a really similar story to where you got passed up for manager.
Mm.
So when I was working at Sam's Club, I worked in a couple different areas. I was a cashier, and then I moved to being a supervisor on the front end. Then I got a full time job somewhere else and moved to being a tobacco cashier, which was so much fun. I
Yeah.
fucking loved that shit. Yeah. Like you just make all these orders and I learned cigarettes and that's great, but whatever. Um, and then I ended up quitting the other job and went full time in the deli at Sam's Club. And then so while I was over there, I we had a like a full staff, everything like that. But then our team lead ended up leaving. And then I was like hustling, making sure that I helped everywhere. I learned how to cut meat. Like I learned how to use the meat grinder. I learned how to package things. I helped with all
Yeah.
that. I helped stock the floor, doing the rotisserie chickens, doing the home meal solution things, which is like the pre-packaged meals that you
Yeah.
just warm up in the oven.
I helped out
All
in
of
our
it.
deli from time to time. I did all, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
So
where I like the deli,
I
honestly,
actually
sometimes.
really liked it too, except when like my manager got on my ass about like how the deli walls would look, and I was like, "You do realize that this is a busy fucking day, right?" And I'm
Right.
one person helping in all the other areas of the department too. Like, get off my dick. And so, and like this was also while facing everything every time I walked by them, but whatever. So then it came around to our team lead left, and then it was the busy season. And I put interest in the fact that I wanted to be the team lead because I knew how to do the ordering because I did it for the deli department. And I knew how to help with the meat department when they were ordering all their stuff. And then I even helped with doing fucking inventory and coming in at 3 o'clock in the morning and counting all of the fucking product in all of the coolers, all of the freezers, on the like everything that we had in our shit for the
Yeah.
entire department, meat department and deli. So I was like, okay, cool. I feel like I have a pretty good shot at this. And then I interviewed, did all that, and then they picked someone in a different department who's like the hardline department where like the pillows, blankets, detergents,
Right.
the normal household things are. And I'm like, you're gonna bring someone from the non-perishable department to the most difficult perishable department? What?
Yeah.
I literally know the ordering. I know all the people. I know every part of this department. What are you doing? And then something else happened. That guy needed to like go back to like Tennessee or whatever. He needed to go back home for something. And then like 3 months go by. We get through the entire Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the busy food holidays basically.
Right.
And then after Christmas, they were like, well, he's actually not going to be able to make it. I'm like, no shit. Really? We struggled this whole time without him. Yeah, he's not going to be here. And so then it got to the point where like I was so fed up and I was so pissed about that I got like picked over like by someone else like that.
Right.
And the fact that they left us without a team lead, like they didn't make a decision and be like, oh, if you're going out of town and it's extended, we're going to pick the runner up then. And they told me after, they were like, well, you just don't have enough leadership. And I was like, I was literally a supervisor in the front end of this store. What do you mean?
Right.
I was doing interviews and shit. What the
Yeah.
fuck? And then it got to the point where I found another job and they were like, oh, well, I think that's when, like, right at the same time where they were like, oh, well, would you be interested? I'm like, actually, I'm putting in my notice.
Bro, okay, you know what's crazy about that?
What?
So after I left that job, so like my brother worked there too.
Uh,
And honestly, like as much as my brother and I don't get along all the time, but like we were arguably two of the best workers in that store at any given
mm-hmm,
time. Um and we both ended up leaving like relatively close together. And apparently, because like it's a small town grocery store and my parents still live like right there, so my mom still shops at that grocery store all the time, and it's a locally owned one too.
mm-hmm.
And so apparently even now, I don't like however many years later, when the fuck did I quit that job? I quit that job in like November of 2018, I think.
Mm-hmm.
um so however many years now since then, 6 years almost. Apparently she's still, every time she asks, like sees my mom, she uh asks if me or my brother want to come back and work there because
Oh
she
my
needs
god.
employees. And
Oh
I
my
don't even live in
god.
the same province anymore, bro. Like,
Oh, that's so funny. You know the worst fucking part of my whole deal? When they did bring on someone else to be our team lead, they brought like the most misogynistic piece of shit asshole.
Yeah.
And like I walked into the meat room one day, like where all the um, meat department associates were like butchering
Yeah.
meat and everything like that. And this new team lead, he's like standing watching over them and like chatting with them. And this woman walks up with her daughter and he's like, "Oh shit, do you see them? Oh my god, she's a dime, blah
Oh
blah
my
blah." And
god.
I'm like, which one are you talking about? Because one's a fucking child. Like, oh my god. And like the mom was like bending over to like obviously pick up some of the stuff and like look at it and everything.
Oh
And
my
he's like,
god.
"Damn, oh my god," and like just being fucking disgusting. And I'm like, I literally, my ears are bleeding. Like, this is disgusting to listen to.
That's crazy.
I
Oh,
hated
oh
him.
my god.
Every time I had to interact with him, I was the biggest bitch to him because I just
Yeah.
hated him so much. He also would touch me without my permission, which not in like a weird way. Like, he would come up and he would like start patting me on the shoulder and like bumping into me. And I was like, "Please don't touch me." And he's like, "Oh, I'm just playing around. It's not a big deal." And I'm
Bruh,
like,
I would have got a
"I'll
fucking
fucking
HR.
cut your hand off, bro. Like, get the fuck away from me." Oh my god. I hated him. I had to snap at him. I was like, "I asked you not to fucking touch me. Stop fucking touching me." And he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And I was like, "You are fucking
Oh
insufferable.
my god.
I
You know,
loathe you."
um, I don't know why that I thought of this when you were just. Have you ever seen the movie Spy with Melissa McCarthy?
Yeah.
And there's a point where she's like tying the other guy, and she's like, "I'm gonna cut your dick off, and I'm gonna glue it to your forehead like a limp dick unicorn." And I was just like, I don't know
Oh
why
my
that
god.
reminded me of that. Oh my god.
That would be so perfect. Oh
Oh,
my
that's what you
god.
gotta say to people like that. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god. I should have made fun of his hairline though too. Like,
Why was it running away from him?
it sure was. Yeah. He had like, when sometimes you get like that spot on the back top of your head, he had that going too.
Oh.
And like, I don't make fun of people's hairlines
Excuse
because
me.
obviously it's not something you can control. Just like you can't control the size
Right.
of your like dick, like, which I don't understand. I get why it's a point of self-esteem thing, but like, it's also not anything you control. Same with your hairline. Genetics are a bitch sometimes. But if you're misogynistic and you're a piece of shit and you're disrespectful, I'm gonna make fun of your fucking hairline. Just saying. There it is. There's the podcast name.
Also, can I like speaking of hairlines? Hold on.
Oh no.
Can we talk about the fact that they somehow managed to put a receding hairline on a fucking fish in Finding Dory?
Oh, I know. I
Like,
know. I
like, bro, that is a whole freaking cartoon fish, and you somehow managed to put a fucking receding hairline on it. Like,
I
kudos to you
know.
guys. Like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's so freaking hilarious. See, and like that's what I mean. Okay, so I was mentioning earlier about spirit and how much like emotion and everything they can get into their faces. And this is an older freaking film. Like
Yeah.
it was around when I was a kid, so it's like it's really well animated. I think it still holds up now. And the emotion that they get in the horses' faces, who literally do not talk, but you know exactly what they're fucking saying when they're neighing at each other because of their facial expressions and everything like that. But it's also a kid's film, and one of the parts it says that she was like um neighing seductively, and I was like,
Nice.
"Sir, this is a kid's film. Stop."
Bro, kids' films are chock full of like adult
Innuendos.
innuendos and shit.
Oh, I know.
And I love it. It's
I do
hilarious.
too. Oh my gosh.
Especially now when you know what they all mean.
Oh, for real. I love it. And okay, so have you seen Inside Out?
Yes,
Okay, I heard that they're coming out with another one because I just
they
heard a commercial
are.
on it. Super excited for that
I'm
because
excited.
anxiety's showing up.
Right? Just the whole fucking mood.
Right? But so like the mom having like all of her stuff be like based on sadness, basically.
Right, and then the dad had anger. Yeah.
Right? And so I'm sitting there and like then they're like play the reel of the one guy and I'm like, "Oh my god. That's so fucking funny."
Also, you know what else about that movie? Okay, so if you ever notice the mom's emotions when it shows all them, they're all like her in emotion form. Same with the dad, they're all him in emotion form.
Right.
But when you look at was the kid's name
Riley.
Riley? Yeah.
Yeah.
When you look at her stuff, like they're all different.
So I
Some of
think
them
that's
are like male emotions, some are female emotions. They all look completely different.
right. I think that's based on the fact that our brains are not done developing until we're 25. So like the parents, they're who they are. Like they're pretty set on like what their emotional stability, at least Jesus, you fucking hope so. And
I
like
mean,
I mean everybody can change, so like obviously things can still happen, but like they are who they are, like their forms are what they're going to be. They've stopped growing, things like that. Like physically they're going to look how they're going to look until they start aging more rapidly and everything like that.
yeah, but like what happens when like if they like I don't know, what happens if the mom goes and gets like her hair colored and shit? Are all of her emotions suddenly gonna have different colored hair now too?
You know what? That's a really good question. We should ask Pixar.
Just send an email to Pixar, be like, explain yourselves,
I need
please.
to know. My brain is thinking about it and I need answers
Right?
immediately. Be like, if she gets a haircut, do her emotions get a haircut? If dad grows his hair out again, do they all grow their hair out?
If
What
dad
if
shaves
he
his
decides,
mustache, do the emotions
right?
lose their mustache?
What if he starts developing into someone who has like a main emotion of joy? Will they all change to like the joy emotion? And then at that point, is it a girl? Like, is it the female joy that's like in Riley's mind?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
These are good questions.
These are the burning questions that we
Mm-hmm.
need to ask big time movie studios because
Yeah.
they're absolutely going to answer our emails.
100%. Be like, we were talking about it on our podcast,
Right?
so you need to answer us so we can tell our viewers thank you. And that will
Uh,
be all.
well, that won't be all. I'm sure there are other
Oh, there's
questions.
going to be like a billion other questions, yeah. Because once they answered that one, it'll open up a whole other
Right. And you got to open
thing.
all the other ones.
So my
Like,
next question is,
yeah.
if all of Riley's like core memory lands were destroyed from her depression, literally falling, does it all just build back up like the land just comes back? Does she lose all the memories that fell in the pit because of that happening? Like, doesn't
Well, was
know what
wait,
happened.
didn't they all come back at the end of the movie, or am I remembering wrong?
Like her core memories that made like the different lands
Right.
when they would like look out. I think they all came back. They
Yeah.
morphed into something better or like more complex at that point once she started making like it was like they were
I don't know.
blended at
I
that
just keep
point.
seeing memes about like the different like little islands or whatever, or the different eras of Taylor Swift music.
That's funny.
Which is what the inside of my brain looks like.
Uh-huh.
But
Naturally.
yeah, right, exactly as it
Mm-hmm.
should,
As it should.
exactly how it should be.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I have lots of questions about movies,
Me
and
too.
honestly, none of them are ever like at the front of my brain until like the randomest time ever. Like right now, I could
Yeah.
not tell you another one off the top of my head unless something reminded me of them.
Right.
Um, because like they're just like they live there rent free in my head, and I
Mm-hmm.
cannot um think of any of them.
And it's like when you try and like grab them, they're like teeny later.
Also, can we talk about the fact that The Incredibles is set in like the 60s? There's
Yeah.
no way. There's no way in hell.
No.
Cuz like the amount of technology that is in that movie is
Mm-hmm.
way beyond the work of the 60s. Like there's
I
literally
mean,
no physical way that that's true except
it's
that it
also
is.
people with superhuman abilities, and one of them might have been like a super genius who knew how to do all that.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's just weird.
I mean, you're right. They're gonna base it on like real life, like time frames, and years and stuff, decades. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
don't
it
know.
just goes to show too, like how much it can be a difference of having money. Like the kid who grew up all angry. I forgot his name. Syndrome. Was that it?
Yeah.
Um, how like he grew up all angry and shit, and like he had money to do it. Which I'm wondering how. If you're that angry and like festering hatred for that long, how are you like? I guess that's a pretty big motivator to make a lot of money.
Motivation.
Yeah.
Right? Moral of the story, kids. Be angry and you'll make money. Oh, jeez.
Oh my god. Let your anger fuel you.
You know what's okay? So I looked up just a list of burning questions that must be answered before going to sleep, just because I just wanted to see what would be on it.
Right.
And you know what number 2 is? It
What?
says, "What's Grandma doing right now?"
Just text her. If you're going to sleep and you're wondering about that, she's guaranteed asleep.
But like, it's just super in the context of these other questions. Like the first one is, "What are stars made of?" And then, "What's Grandma doing right now?" Those are very different kind of questions.
That's true.
But then
That's
the third
true.
one is, "Why do boys and girls have different body parts?" I don't know who the fuck
Okay,
is
so
asking this.
I can only think
Like,
that it must be like toddlers just like rattling off questions over and over.
the next one is Dr. Seuss really a doctor?
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Which
that
I'm
confirmed
I'm
it.
curious. Like, is Dr. Seuss a doctor?
It's a good question. Are you looking
Um,
it up?
I am looking it up. He was
Yay.
not a doctor. He studied English literature at Oxford after graduating from Dartmouth, but instead became a cartoonist. He was awarded an honorary doctorate in 1955, though.
Oh.
So technically, both yes and no, he is a doctor, or was a doctor. Is he still alive? I doubt he's still alive.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
No.
Do you know how to do the tango? Do you know how to do the tango, Bestie?
No. I'm not
Why not?
because I am a klutz and I don't like
That's
to
fair.
dance in front of other people, so
I theoretically know how to do the tango. Like, I have done dance before. It's just been a hot minute, and I don't know if I remember.
yeah, that's fair. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
these are all from like kids. Where will I live when I'm a grown up? Why are you always trying to get me to eat vegetables? When can I have my own cell phone?
Oh
When did
my
you get
god.
your first cell phone?
I got my first one when I was in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
That late?
Yeah. I'm older than you. It wasn't normal to have them when we were in middle
That's fair.
school. Like, because they were just becoming popular. Like, there was one girl when I was in fifth grade who had a cell phone, and it was fucking insane that she did. Like, everybody
Yeah.
thought it was crazy. But it was like one of those old Nokia
The
brick kind of
bricks?
phones.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love those.
But like not like the huge one, but like the
Right.
little brick.
I
Um,
think I had my first cell phone when I was like 13.
okay. Yeah, I was probably like 15 or 16. Wait,
And
my mom was still around. I might have been 14.
I remember one of my I think it was my second phone that I ever had was a BlackBerry Pearl.
Oh, I
It
always
had the
wanted
little like
one.
slide ball in it, and it was so much
Yeah.
fun. I loved it so much.
Okay, see, I wanted a razor so freaking bad because
Which
all
one
the
was the
girls on the
Razor?
school bus, they were the ones that were like the metallic, like
Oh,
flip
okay,
ones,
yeah,
like super thin, so cool looking.
yeah. See, I had one. I had the LG Slide for a second,
I
like
think
where
I had
you
the
like
slide
you slide
too.
it up, and it's like just the number pad, but then you slide it up on the side, and it's like the full keyboard.
Okay, so I had one that slid, but it didn't slide up and down, just from side to side, and I freaking love that thing because
They
like
were
I would text
cool,
in class. I know, and I knew where all
right?
the key placements were, and like the
Exactly. So you
teacher
could
almost
text
caught
without
me.
looking. Yeah,
Exactly, the teacher saw me like I was looking down like a little bit, and so she stopped her like lesson, and I was like,
yeah.
oh fuck,
I've
and
gotten
so she
so good
like
at texting. Like, I can type so fast on my phone now.
same, but so the crazy part, she started like kneeling down to see if I was texting underneath the desk. Thankfully, this phone was like so thin that I like slammed it like up against the bottom of the desk and
Yeah.
just held it there. And she like looked at me, but then she like stood back up and kept going. And I was like, oh, fuck, that was so close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this next question is hilarious.
Okay, what is it?
Is nighttime or morning a better time to be naked?
Oh my god. Okay, well, let's discuss.
Honestly, it really depends on the context, but like honestly, all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, there's something that's really nice about like the end of the day and like not having to wear anything
Right.
constricting,
And
but
honestly,
it's also nice to like
yeah.
start your day naked.
That's what I enjoyed when I lived by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I took full advantage of the fact that I lived by myself all the time. It was great.
I probably would more if I didn't have like the shittiest blinds in the world that like.
Just get some better ones.
Well, then when I'm not going to replace their blinds for them.
Just get some curtains and put them over the blinds.
Okay, so here's the
And then
problem
you can take
with
them
that.
with you when you move.
So I have curtains. I have the
Well, there you
curtain
go.
rod. I have everything that I need to make it happen.
Just haven't done it.
Except for the fact that the contraption that has the shades for my patio door
Mm-hmm.
sticks out like 3 inches from the wall.
Oh.
My brackets do not. So I need to get like a 2x4 and drill it into the wall above that part and then put my freaking curtains on there and then hope that they don't snag on the fucking contraption that like is the shade blocker thing around the top of the contraption. It's really fucking annoying. But yeah, that's what I have to deal with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why do rocks look like giant pieces of poop?
Oh, the minds of children.
I know, right? And then, are there a lot of whales in Russia?
Why Russia specifically?
I don't know. How do you get to another dimension is the next question. Which, that's a
great
valid question.
That is a really valid question. That
Right?
kid's going to go on to learn like quantum
Right.
science or something.
Are pirates real?
Yeah.
Yes. They are. Why can't I take the cat to school?
Okay.
Why do I need to sleep every night?
I mean, kids can easily test that one out.
Right?
Like, I'm fucking exhausted now. Oh, some of these kids, that's so funny.
Right? They're fucking crazy. Children are weird.
To be a child again.
Right?
But then also, like, I feel like if I would go back in time, I would want to know everything I know now. And, like, have the experience that I have. Granted, I'd just be a depressed kid then. That would suck.
Yeah.
But like, okay, but knowing what I know now, like the importance of what I know, what is important, I feel like I'd go about about everything differently.
Yeah.
And set like better goals for myself on like what I want to be doing and like actually start pushing to attain that at a younger age and like utilize public education and, you know, everything like that to my advantage for what I want to do. Because I just aimlessly did whatever at that point.
I try not to think about like what I would do if I could go back and do it over again, because then that like throws down the black hole of like building regrets and shit. And I don't need to add that into my already messed up thought process of every day.
No, that's fair. I only think about it sometimes and I'm like, that's not possible. So we keep moving on.
Oh my god.
Keep on trucking. What?
Okay, so I've gone from burning questions to shower thoughts real quick before we call it a week.
Mm-hmm.
Even when a balloon is half inflated, it is completely full.
That is true.
This is crazy. It's blowing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, this one's just kind of depressing and it makes me feel old. Soon enough, people are going to be using the term 20s, 30s, and 40s in regards to 2020 and 30 and 40 and not 1920s, 30s, and 40s. And
that's true.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, that is pretty wild.
Oh, this is a good one. Does the straw have one hole or two?
I hate this question.
Well, what's your answer?
I mean, it's one hole.
Right. Thank you. Good. All right. Moving on.
It has two entrances, but it is
Exactly. A
one
tunnel
hole.
is not two holes; it's one
Right.
hole. And yeah, people are
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it has a hole at the top and a hole at the bottom. It's like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But then also, I can appreciate the other argument because if you think about a t-shirt,
Hmm.
you would say a t-shirt has more than one hole,
Yeah. See, that's where it gets tricky.
but it's also just like one, like solid, like I don't know. It's just a straw in a different shape if you really think about it.
Right. With more than two entrances, yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy,
I mean, yeah, that definitely opens up to a lot of just like debate.
right? You guys can tell us what you think. Is how
Yeah.
many holes does a straw have, and how many holes does a t-shirt have? Because to me, a straw has one hole, but a t-shirt has four.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, because if you
crazy.
apply what you know for the t-shirt, technically a straw would have two holes.
Right, but it doesn't. It only has
Except when you
one.
think of the concept of a hole,
What constitutes a hole? What is a hole?
what is a hole? Oh god, I feel like
Oh
there'd be
no.
some inappropriate things that would
Yeah.
come up with that.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Oh no. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's pretty
how do
funny
our
though.
brains remember that we forgot something, but we can't remember what the thing was? That's actually a really good question.
It is. Okay, so this actually happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at this teacup in Michael's, right? And it was a teacup that had a candle, like candle wax inside of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of something. And then so I turned to my friend and I'm like, okay, I'm
Is it
trying to remember
those
what movie this is
candles
from.
in mugs where you melt it and there's a little necklace inside of it or something?
I don't think it was that fancy, no.
Oh.
Um, it was just like aesthetically a candle inside a teacup. But I wanted it to pour out the way that I remember seeing this movie scene, but I could not for the life of me remember what movie it was. So I turned to my friend. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to remember what movie this was. We're like, and I was like, do you remember the movie scene where like someone freezes the tea in the cup and then it comes out like so perfectly, like it never was stuck to the teacup, and then like there's a cat and it starts licking it, and I was like, do you remember this? And she was like, no, and
Wait,
I'm like,
wait.
so
Oh my god, what
no,
is
no,
the
no, no, no.
oh
I'll tell you because I remembered. So I'm
okay.
literally standing there staring at nothing. And I'm just like staring and staring and staring. And I'm like, oh my God, it's from fucking X-Men when Bobby goes to visit his parents and he's got his freeze powers and he's trying to tell his parents about it. And then he touches her teacup and it freezes. And then when she tips it over, it like falls out so nicely, and it looked like such good tea with like milk and sugar and blah blah, all that good stuff. Like it looked really delicious. And then the cat jumps up on the table and it starts licking it, and I was like, that's what I want to have happen with this wax teacup right now. And then I was like, did I have like an
Oh my
ADHD moment?
god.
And she was like, yeah, basically. And I was like, sorry, I didn't say anything for like a minute while I was just trying to remember what it was. It was great. But yeah, it's from X-Men.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty funny at the time. I was very happy that I remembered too, because there's nothing like seeing the scene of something or like remembering something from a book or a movie or an interaction that you had, but not being able to pinpoint either what it was or who you were talking to or like where it's from.
Yeah.
That drives me fucking nuts.
Are
Man.
you ready to have your mind blown?
Yes.
Beanbags are boneless sofas.
All right. Well, I hate that.
Oh, oh my god.
I mean, but like it's true. Especially like, so
Right?
you know Lovesac?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you should look up Lovesac. They have like huge. They have like
Oh, I
customizable
feel like I
couches.
hold on. I feel like I've seen.
You've probably seen something about it, but they
Yeah.
have like giant bean bags. So like one's a square and you can kind of mold it around, and then they have two like circular ones, and one is massive.
Yeah.
Like you just get sucked into it. But yeah, that's. I mean, it's a piece of furniture to like be comfortable on, so I get it. It makes sense. Even though I hate that they use boneless, like a chicken wing or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, look at my boneless furniture. My
Oh my
boneless
god, that's
sofa.
crazy.
Jeez.
But anyways, I think we should leave you guys on the thought about boneless sofas.
Yes.
Um yeah. We'll
And
catch you
also,
guys
on
next
that
week.
note,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, but like, which do you prefer? Boneless chicken or bone-in chicken?
Boneless.
What?
Easy.
Okay, see, but what about chicken wings?
Yeah, boneless.
What? That's just a chicken nugget.
Exactly.
Okay, but oh, you're weird about your food though. You don't count.
Listen, they're
Um,
easier. They're less of a mess because you don't have to deal with throwing out the bones afterwards. You can just pop the whole thing right in there and just nom 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 to your heart's content.
I mean, you make a valid point. I feel like there's something that I love that. There's something I really love about a bone-in chicken wing. But
Yeah, I'm
anyways,
sure you do like the bone in. Anyways.
oh god. Okay.
Oh my god, I
Oh my
can't.
god.
Okay, I
Sorry.
apologize, listeners, viewers, and everybody in the world. Um, be sure to come back next week, and
Yes.
we'll see how long it takes Serafina to actually post on Instagram the
Oh,
pictures of the
yeah.
things from last week and the week
Maybe
before.
I'll do it before this episode airs.
Oh my god, wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be literally insane.
You're gonna create a paradox in what
I
I'm
know.
talking about right now.
Yep.
Oh my god, you guys, I'm going crazy. But that's okay because everybody's crazy.
A little bit.
Right. Yeah. Catch us on our socials and Twitch. And
All listed below.
yeah, they're all in the blah, 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 blah. Oh my god. I'm
Blah, blah,
sorry. I made
blah.
it all the way through 2 months without having to do that. Oh my god.
Love
Yeah.
that.
I appreciate those of you that are sticking around as this was our 8th episode, marking 2
Yeah.
months of
Super exciting.
us talking to everybody
Yeah.
and nobody, because there's nobody here but us right now.
It's true.
But there will be when it airs, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Losing my mind.
Did you ever have
yeah,
it, though?
we'll catch. What?
Did you ever like have your mind?
I don't know. I'm sure I did when I was younger. Maybe.
Maybe. It's a
I
big
don't know.
maybe.
It's like it's sloshing around there somewhere.
Sloshing? I don't know if it's supposed to do that.
Yeah, you know, like your brain never just like sloshes around when you shake your head.
No. Can't
Me
say
neither.
that it
But
does.
like. uh, do your guys' brain slush?
Oh my god.
I mean, I bet your brain would probably slash if your head was like this big.
Maybe. You don't think your brain would be like the size of that?
I don't know.
Like fitted to your skull?
No, I feel like my brain is this small.
Ah. That's
Yeah.
fun. Oh my
Yeah,
god,
it's a
that
good
looks
time.
so ridiculous.
I know. Oh, jeez. Anyways, we'll catch
And
you
with
guys
that,
next week. And yeah, have a good night, you guys.
yeah, bye you guys. See you next time.